Good morning, my dear students. I am Rakesh Kumar, TGT Social Science, PG Senior Secondary School, Captainganj, Kushinagar. Now we are going to study. Previously, we have studied that what were the problems aroused in the two different nations, that is Belgium and Sri Lanka. Now we are going to study what lessons we can learn from the Belgium and Sri Lankan model of power sharing. So, we should note that in spite of the fact that both the countries are democratic and they dealt with the question of power sharing in differently. In case of Belgium, the political leaders had adopted a policy of accommodation after realizing that the unity of the country was possible only by respecting the feelings and interests of different communities and regions. Such a realization resulted in the mutually acceptable arrangement for the sharing of power, and this become a very fine example for the modern democracies of the world, and the Belgian model become very successful in the world. Now let us see about the Sri Lankan situation. We can say here majority community forces its dominance over others and also refuses to share power in this. They are supported by the government and the constitution, which ultimately undermine the unity of the country, and you can say this is totally failure, and it created a civil war in the country, and the country was suffering from the 1980s till date. Now they are also feeling a lot of problems. So let us uh, try to create a definition of power sharing. What is power sharing? So power sharing is the very spirit of democracy. We can say that a democratic rule involves sharing of power with those affected by its exercise and who have to live with its effects. All communities, social groups get their say in the governance. People have a right to be people had a right to be consulted on how they are to be governed. Here we can say that peoples have in the center. A legitimate government is one where citizens through participation acquire a stake in this system. Stake means you can say partnership. So power sharing is you can say an arrangement of powers between the different levels of government. Now let us have a look power sharing in India. We know that India is a democratic country, and we are electing our representative through different franchises and representative. We are electing our representative, and on the basis of principle of democracy, the people are the source of all political power. The countries like India. In a democracy, people rule themselves through institution of self-governance in the panchayat level or local self-government level. In a good democratic government, due to respect is given to diverse group and views that exist in a society. Everyone has a voice in the shaping of public policies. Therefore, it follows that in a democracy, political forms of power sharing, power should be distributed among as many citizens as possible. Now, now we are going to think that why power sharing is desirable. What is the reason behind it? So we can give uh, two set of regions for the favor of power sharing. The first region is prudential region. Prudential region means power sharing help in reducing conflict between diverse social group by avoiding violence and political instability. Power sharing leads to stability of political order, and power sharing ultimately led to the unity and integrity of a nation. And the second region, we can say that this is the moral region. Moral region. Power sharing is the very spirit of democracy in the moral region, we can say. A democratic rule involves sharing of power between the government and the governed, means the people, the citizen. People have a right to be consulted on how they should be governed. The political system can only be called legitimate when citizens acquire a stake in the system through the process of participation. So these two regions are very important for the examination point of view also. So you have to see this, the power sharing, why power sharing is inevitable. Two regions are there. Now forms of power sharing. So we can say that the power sharing has emerged in contrast to theory of concentration of power on single demand. For a quite long time, it was generally believed that all powers of government, that is about the ancient time I am saying, it was believed that the all powers of government should be conified to a person, group, or persons located at one place. You can say this was not a democratic system. This was, you can say, a monarchical system. So they were believed that the power should be divided into a single person or the group of those people who are living together, who are on the same place. It are argued that the reason behind it, they were saying that the decision making will vary fast, and that is why the government work in proper manner. But never forget to think that when we provide such type of arrangement for the people, the powers concentrated in the hand of those people can be act like dictators, and they may harm the spirit of democracy. So that is why we can say the power should be divided among the different levels. So now we are going to study how the power should be divided. So the first is that the division of power among the different organs of government. It is going on in our nation also. Power is shared among different organs of government such as legislature, executive, and judiciary. And this can be called as horizontal distribution of power. Why? Because legislature, executive, and judiciary, all the three things are on same level. So that is why it is known as horizontal distribution of power. Such a separation ensures that none of the organs can exercise ultimate power. We can see that all the just like judiciary check the powers of executive and legislature, and in same manner the legislature and executive also can check judiciary in some manners, but judiciary have the supreme authority in the judicial matters. Each organ check the others. This result in a balance of power among various institutions. For example, ministers and government officials exercise power. They are responsible to the parliament or state assemblies. Similarly, judges can check the functioning of executive or laws made by the legislature. This arrangement is called the system of check and balance, and this is very important system, and in our nation this system is going on, and this is you can say accepted system in the context of India. Now we are going to study the second type of power sharing, that is power sharing at different levels. Power can be shared among the government at different level, such as a general government for the entire country, for the general government, and several state governments for the state level. In here state government should be formed. In India we refer to it as the central or union government, that is general government is referred to as union government, and the government of the provincial level are called the state government. But in many nations they are not called state government, they can be called as federal government, they can be called at different levels. So this system is known as the federal division of power, and in this system the horizontal divisions of is going on. So now horizontal distribution of power and system of check and balance. The most common form of power sharing is the division of power among three organs of the government, that is legislature, executive and judiciary. This can also be described as horizontal distribution of power because it allows all the three organs of the government which are placed at the same level to function independently while exercising different powers. This kind of separation of power work as a check so that none of three government can exercise unlimited power. This also helps in maintaining a balance of power among different institutions. For example, the minister who exercise executive powers are at the same time responsible to parliament or state assembly. In the same way, the judges are appointed by the executive despite they can check the function of the executive. In popular term, this system is known as the system of check and balance. And now the another system is known as the vertical distribution of power. Power also can be divided into the vertical form between the general government and the central government, at the provincial government and the regional government. This is also known as federal system of government, we have discussed earlier. Now we are going to study about the third, that is the power division among the different social groups. Power may also be shared among different social groups such as the religious and linguistic group. Indian constitution has provision for reservation of different communities like minorities, OBC, SC, ST and women also. This is done to ensure their adequate representation in the government machinery. In the election, you generally heard about the particular seat is reserved for the OBC or SC or ST or women. So this system is providing the opportunities for the OBC, SC, ST, women to contest in the election and to safeguard the right related to their community, you can say. Under this kind of arrangement, power is shared among different social groups. This can be religious or linguistic group. In many countries of the world, the constitutional and the legal arrangement provide for reservation to society, socially weaker section and women in the legislature and administration. In India, we have a system of reserved constituency. Uh, that thing we are talking about it. The constituencies are reserved for the women, SC, ST, and the people who belong to the weaker section of society. So this is also very effective. And the last term, whatever we are going to study, this is power sharing by political parties and the pressure groups. So easily by the point we can elaborate that power sharing arrangement can also be seen in the way political parties, pressure group and movement control or influence those in power. In a democracy, the citizen must have freedom to choose among various contenders of power. In contemporary democracy, this take the form of competition among different parties. Such competition ensures that power does not remain in one hand. In the long run, power is shared among different political parties that represent different ideologies and social groups. Sometimes this kind of sharing can be direct when two or more parties form an alliance to contest the election. In India, this is the time for the, you can say, alliances. There are two major alliances in our nation, that is NDA, National Democratic Alliance, that is governed by the led by the BJP, and second is UPA, United Progressive Alliance. This is led by the Congress. So two type of alliances we can say, and one third front is also trying to dominate over the nation. If their alliance is elected and they form a coalition government and thus share power, in a democracy we find interest groups such as those of traders, businessmen, industrialists, farmers and industrial workers. They also enjoy a share in governmental power, either through the participation in the government or communities by bringing influence on decision making process. Now we are going to finish the chapter. According to this chapter, we should conclude that the power should be divided among different levels of government in a democracy, because if the powers should be in a single person's hand, he or she can be act like a dictator, and this is not the spirit of democracy. The sharing of power is the spirit of democracy, because different levels have their own responsibilities and they are responsible for their own work. That is why we can say that, conclude that power sharing is the very important for the existence of the democracy in the world. Now we have completed this chapter. We will meet in the next chapter. Thank you. Have a nice day.